responsible for 37 murders, the unsolved case of the Zodiac Killer. Who exactly is the Zodiac Killer? To be honest, no one knows the exact answer to this question, because his identity is still unknown as of today. All we know is that he was a serial killer who admitted to murdering more than 37 people. Curious to know more? Stay tuned till the end. The Zodiac Killer is a made-up name for an unnamed serial killer that terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s. The unsolved murder case is one of the most notorious in American history. It is an enthralling case for amateur investigators to attempt to solve. Curious to know more? Well, stay connected for that. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Having said that, let's get into the video. Between 1968 and 1974, he operated in Northern California. Zodiac is a self-title given by the serial murderer in the cryptic letters he delivered to the press while on a killing spree. The killer used to begin his letters with "This is the Zodiac speaking," and his letters included various paragraphs written in code. The letter was meant to taunt him by implying that he planned to murder 12 more persons. Even though technology has evolved, the majority of his cryptograms remain unsolved to this day. The letters were signed with the now famous signature, a circle with a cross in it. The assailant frequently targeted young couples, including a lone male cab driver. The Zodiac has admitted to killing 37 people, and he has been tied to numerous additional outstanding cases both inside and beyond the state. Official records, however, show that he attacked 7 people, 2 of whom survived. On Lake Herman Road in 1968, David Arthur Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, were shot and died. Michael Renaud Magoo, 19, and Darlene Elizabeth Ferrin, 22, were shot in Vallejo in 1969. However, Magoo lived while Ferrin died. Brian Calvin Hartnell, 20, and Cecilia Ann Shepard, 22, were stabbed in Napa County in 1969. Shepard died in the attack, while Hartnell survived. Paul Lee Stein, 29, was murdered in San Francisco in 1969. The Zodiac Killer used to send cards and letters to regional newspapers, threatening them with a killing spree and explosions if they did not publish them on the main page. He believed that if he murdered people, they would go to heaven and become his slaves in the hereafter. "I like killing people because it's exciting," he said in one of his letters. "I hope you're having a good time trying to catch me." Only 18 of the entire 408 ciphers transmitted by him between 1969 and 1974 were decrypted. One of the letters took more than 5 decades to decode. There have been various conspiracy theories about the identity of the killer. Arthur Leigh Allen and Gary Francis Post are the most likely suspects in the murders. Yet the investigation has only named one person, Arthur Leigh Allen, a former schoolteacher and convicted sex offender who died in 1992. As represented by the survivors of his attack, Arthur has few commonalities, such as his age and height. He also had a broken love life, which could be one of the reasons he liked to target young couples. When they looked into Arthur more, they couldn't find enough evidence to prove that he was the serial killer. He ceased mailing letters in 1974, but the unresolved case has sparked international interest. The San Francisco Police Department officially closed this investigation in 2004, but reopened it in 2007. Jen Buchholz, a former Army counterintelligence agent who was a member of the squad, stated that letters sent by the serial murderer proved Post to be the culprit after decoding some of the ciphers in the letter. So you have to know Gary's complete name to interpret these anagrams, Buchholz explained. "I just don't think anyone could have figured it out any other way." Some have even linked him to a few more recent homicides in the San Francisco region. The mystery surrounding the Zodiac case has also continued to captivate the public, inspiring numerous theories about the identity of the killer. Claims that he was the Una Bomba Ted Kaczynski, or convicted killer Charles Manson, or that he later traveled to Scotland and committed more murders before finding happiness and putting up his wicked ways, ranging from reasonable to outlandish. True crime author and former San Francisco Chronicle cartoonist Robert Graysmith wrote 2 books about the killer, Zodiac, 1982, and Zodiac Unmasked, 2002, eventually naming Arthur Leigh Allen as the most likely culprit. Allen, however, died in 1992 and was never definitively linked to any of the murders. Gary Stewart wrote The Most Dangerous Animal of All in 2014, claiming that his father, Earl Von Best Jr., who bears a striking similarity to the man in the police sketch, was the Zodiac Killer. Another individual came forward in 2014 to say that before he died in 2002, a friend named Louis Myers admitted to being the murderer. Certain occurrences in Myers' life mirrored those associated with the Zodiac, but as with Allen and Von Best, there was no definitive evidence. Why is it so difficult to apprehend him? To this day, the Zodiac Killer has managed to elude authorities. Decades have passed since he went on a murderous spree. In this case, police have a huge list of potential suspects. One of the reasons it is so difficult to apprehend the criminal is that police agencies have insufficient manpower and finances for forensic research. Also, before the advancement of DNA technology, officials handled evidence relating to genetic materials in a relatively casual manner. However, Zodiac aficionados believe that the killer is still alive and may be apprehended. According to a few survivors, the Zodiac clothed in various forms of black clothing, and on one occasion, he was spotted wearing a dark hood emblazoned with the Zodiac emblem. During the 1960s, the Zodiac's weapon was a simple handgun, which he used to murder his first victims with a .22 semi-automatic pistol. He even wielded bladed weapons resembling military-style knives. To shoot in the dark, he stated in his letter that he had a pencil-sized flashlight strapped to his gun. Caucasian adolescent couples were the Zodiac's preferred victims, and he often carried out his murders while the victims were alone or in a vehicle. He used to either shoot them to death or stab them to death. He would sometimes just approach the automobile and begin shooting, or he would approach the victim while posing as a robber who wants their car and money to flee to Mexico. His manner and the approach used varies at times. He claimed that he killed several of his victims by fire or by rope in one of his letters. He would use a payphone to contact the closest police station, report the murders, and accept responsibility for the atrocities. Police were able to produce and disseminate a composite sketch of the murderer using accounts from witnesses who had spotted a guy fleeing from the scene of Paul Stein's 1969 slaying. But despite accumulating proof and a plethora of suspects being looked into, the Zodiac was still at large. Was the Zodiac murderer ever apprehended? No suspect has ever been detained in connection with either the known or suspected Zodiac murders. Law enforcement has been frustrated by their inability to catch the Zodiac Killer for almost 50 years since the Faraday-Jensen killings. This narrative has been the subject of several films. Tom Hansen's 1971 film Zodiac Killer was directed by him. Additionally, it was just featured in the 2019 release of the Tenderfoot TV podcast Monster, The Zodiac Killer, on several streaming services. In the first 2 months after its introduction, more than 12 million consumers downloaded it. After more than 50 years, the Zodiac Killer's cipher was cracked in 2020 by amateur codebreakers. I hope you're having fun catching me. That wasn't me on the TV shows, which brings up an interesting point about me. I'm not terrified of the gas chamber because it will send me to heaven sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me, whereas everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise. So they are afraid of death. I am not afraid because I know that my new life in paradise will be an easy one. A group of 40 retired law enforcement detectives, known as the Case Breakers, announced in October 2021 that they had found the Zodiac Killer. The FBI claimed that the case was still pending, though. Here is the end of this video. So what do you think? Will the case be resolved soon or not? Let us know in the comments down below.